All right, we're jumping straight into this crypto global news briefing. No time to waste. What's happening right now behind the curtain could lock you out of the new financial system for good. Look, if you misinterpret this one signal, you are going to be priced out. It's that simple. The story you're being sold every day in the mainstream, it's a total smokescreen. What the biggest institutions are actually doing is the complete opposite. And if you ignore their real-world blueprint, you're going to be left holding the bag. And here it is. Here's the twist. That quote, "Bitcoin is a distraction," that's not from some random analyst. That's from Jenny Johnson, the CEO of Franklin Templeton, a firm managing $1.6 trillion. So while the entire market is obsessing over Bitcoin, she's on record calling it a distraction. That is a massive, flashing red signal coming straight from the heart of Wall Street. So here's the promise. We're about to pull back the curtain. By the end of this briefing, you're not getting a theory, you're not getting speculation, you will have the exact institutional blueprint. You'll know precisely where the real smart money is flowing. Okay, let's get into it. Part 1, the 1.6 trillion twist. First, you have to appreciate the sheer scale of who we're talking about here. Now, this is so important to understand. This is not my opinion. This isn't a rumor. This is Franklin Templeton's official published position. They have specifically called out the XRP Ledger as, and I'm quoting, a payments-first blockchain and a foundational building block. Those are their words. They see this as a core piece of the plumbing for the entire new financial system. And, talk is cheap, but this is not talk. 142.3 million. That's how much XRP Franklin Templeton is holding. They are putting their money, a lot of money, where their mouth is. This isn't just a test run. This is a massive bet. They have serious skin in the game, which tells you their conviction is real. I have to say this right now. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, you are missing the most critical alerts. The algorithm is designed to bury this kind of information. Next week, it will probably hide this content from you completely. Hit that subscribe button right now to make sure you stay on the timeline. Go ahead and like and share it too. Get the signal out. All right, so let's dig into their actual game plan. Part 2, Franklin Templeton's XRP Blueprint. This is where we lay out their strategy step by step. You have to understand, this belief, it comes straight from the top. The CEO, Jenny Johnson, couldn't be more clear. She said blockchain is going to be the infrastructure of financial services. There is no question in my mind. For them, this isn't a possibility, it's a dead certainty. And this right here, this lays out their entire thinking perfectly. On one side, you have the retail thesis. Bitcoin is a fiat currency, it's a store of value. But Franklin Templeton sees that as the distraction. On the other side is their actual thesis, infrastructure. They're playing the picks and shovels. Forget the gold rush for a second. They're investing in the company that makes the tools everyone needs to dig for the gold. They're buying the financial rails themselves. That's the real opportunity. Which, of course, begs the question, what other infrastructure projects are on Wall Street's radar? I want to know what you're seeing. If you've got any intel on other picks and shovels plays, drop it in our latest community post. Let's start connecting the dots together. This brings us to part 3, beyond Bitcoin, the real gold rush. Because what we're talking about here, owning the infrastructure, it's a totally different game. Okay, lean in for this because this is the absolute key. It's a fundamental shift in what ownership even means. With stock ownership, you own a piece of a company, right? Simple. But with token ownership, you own a piece of the network itself. You literally own the rails that everything else runs on. And don't just take my word for it. Sandy Call, their head of digital asset innovation, spelled it out. Token holders are stakeholders in the infrastructure. Think about that. Every future tokenized asset, we're talking stocks, bonds, your house, everything. It will all have to live on these networks. By owning the token, you own a piece of that foundation. And that's why we're dedicating a whole section to this. Part 4, owning the network itself. This is the paradigm shift. This is what the institutions already get. And you know what's really wild? The resilience of this market. Think back to 2022. It was a complete disaster. We had the Luna collapse, the FTX collapse, a total market wipeout. And you'd think institutions would run for the hills, right? Wrong. Instead, their interest from giants like Franklin Templeton actually hit all-time highs as we moved into 2024 and 2025. They saw the chaos not as a risk, but as an opportunity to buy in cheap.
And listen, this is not some fantasy about the future. The market value for tokenized real-world assets is already over $1 billion. It's growing like crazy. Companies are moving assets onto the blockchain as we speak. This is happening right now.
Look, if you want to stay ahead of these moves, you need intel faster than these briefings. The best way is to join my Telegram. Just scan the QR code on the screen or click the link down in the description. Any critical update I get hits Telegram first, period. So, this all brings us to our final point, Part 5, the inevitable tokenized future. Let's put all the pieces together. And I want to speak directly to our viewers in the US for a moment. This is absolutely critical for you. Understanding what these institutions are doing isn't just about watching some global trend. This is about securing your own financial position inside the American market before the big regulatory changes come and lock everybody else out. This is your window. The writing is on the wall. Wall Street is coming, and they're buying the infrastructure, not the hype. But here's the thing. Franklin Templeton, as big as they are, they're not the only ones. So that leaves us with one burning question. Which Wall Street giant is quietly buying up even more?
Well, I have the answer, and it's in our next briefing. I've got the numbers to prove it. Click the card that's popping up on your screen right now. Click it, and I'll see you there.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.